Hello there, Internet friends. This is Danielle Pierce, the creator of Real Estate Profit Lab and founder of Property Preservation Mastery. As always, come into the room, say hey, let me know where you're watching from. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share wherever you are watching this video, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. All right, so if you guys have been living, if you haven't been living under a rock, then you know that we're doing a new campaign this month, a video series. It's called Preservation During the Pandemic. And we're talking about recent student success stories from folks who are starting and or scaling their business during the pandemic. We got students who are juggling new babies, new businesses, and still managing to hit $6,600 a month in revenue. Students juggling full-time jobs, multiple businesses, got a late start and still crossed over the $6,000 mark in revenue last month. Students juggling their business and homeschooling their children. One person who registered almost 2 years ago that is just now finally pulling the trigger and recently had her first four-figure month. So that is what we're doing all for the next, several days or so. The campaign officially ends June the 16th. So with that being stated, many of you have asked for discount codes. So guess what? We're introducing 6 discount codes valued between $200 to $500 off of the full price program. Property Preservation Mastery is $2,497 and worth every penny, I should add. To get those discount codes, though, you do have to be on our email list. If you're not on the list, head to propertypreservationmastery.com ASAP. I'm going to announce the value of each discount code on a special live Q&A session I'm hosting on Wednesday, June 16th at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Details are going out via email. All discount codes expire at midnight, June 16th, Central Standard Time. We are going to leave these videos up for posterity because you guys need to see what's possible and what our students have been able to accomplish during the pandemic. Just know that if they're making these types of strides during the pandemic, that the sky is the limit. So the videos are going to stay up. However, the codes will not be valid beyond June 16th. We're thinking about putting something together for those of you who are late to the party who come and watch this series, say 1 month or 6 months or 12 months from now, but we'll have that figured out over the next several days or so. All right, so buckle up, get ready to hear directly from the students themselves and drop your questions in the comments so I can address them on June the 16th. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to, if I'm saying her name correctly, it is Elia Roddy. She'll be coming on in just a second to talk about how she's been able to juggle this new baby, starting her business, and who knows what else this woman has going on. So give me 1 second and I shall be right back. All righty, so I am back, you guys. I'm back with Elia Roddy of A Plus Preservation. She is covering the Houston market. No, is it Houston? Yeah, Houston market. So she's out here in blazing hot Texas with the bad drivers like I am. And she has so much going on. She has, her new preservation business. She has a new baby. She has teenagers. She has a toddler. Elia, tell the people how you are able to do all this stuff.
By the grace of God. Only. Only by his grace.
Really? So anything worse, like what do you have a specific schedule? Like what does your day look like? Like how do you start your day?
Well, I get up like normally like around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I usually try to have like some quiet time in the morning to try to just, before I hit the day, I try to have some quiet time. And then I'm out the house by 6:30 because I'm a teacher. So I drive to work, and then my day at school finishes about 2:45, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So then when I get back home, it's normally try to figure out what's going on with the business. Sometimes I'm doing the business at school too. So don't tell my school, but it just is what it is, since school has been online, it's allowed a little bit more flexibility. So that's why I've been able to do the business, throughout the school day and everything. So it'll probably look a little different in the fall, but because of COVID and everything, and school been online, and for a minute I was at home, so I didn't have to drive to campus. So it made it a little bit more easier. But now school is out. This was the last week of school, so I'm ready to go back to doing what I was doing before I had to juggle both the job and preservation. So
when you say that sometimes you're doing the preservation stuff happens at work, is it more so? I mean, I know that it's a ton of emails, but is it more so the companies reaching out to you? Is it the contractors, or is it just a little bit of both?
Mostly it's like because basically my husband, he's in the field, he does the field work.
Okay.
So sometimes it's me looking at whatever he did and pushing it through,
Okay.
or sometimes it's on the phone with the reps at Guardian, and trying to figure out like what we need to be approved, or what we need for a certain job. So it's a little bit of both. Sometimes it's just me on the computer looking at photos, and then other times it's me on the phone with the reps, talking about, specific work orders and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
When did
it
you
just varies.
officially launch?
We launched in January.
Another
January,
January. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
You guys,
We did
when did
our
you
first work
register?
order. I registered December, I believe December 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you were somebody who was like flying through. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this woman doing? She's like, okay, I'm done with that. Okay, okay, what's next? I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts when you got your very first work order?
Okay, so our very first work order was a winterization, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. It was in like Alaska, Texas, or something like that, like a whole like an hour and a half away or something like that. But it was a mobile home too. So like it was a mess. Like it was like a hoarder's property. Like it was just a hot mess. And it was just like, what? Like this is real, like this is what it's gonna be like. Okay.
What did your husband say?
He was like, he said that, people was coming up to him trying to tell him like, this is so and so's property. They were basically trying to tell him like the situation of what happened.
Right.
He was just like, I'm just here to do a winterization. Like, I'm just here to, like, with the property management company. Like, I'm just here to, work on the property, because like people was trying to buy the property. It was an eyesore in the neighborhood. They were trying to get rid of it. Like, so they were like, are you gonna get rid of it? Like, are you gonna come and clean it up? He was just like, you might have to contact the city for this, or contact Guardian, and like he would point them to the number on the post and everything. And yeah, so that was the first one.
That is hilarious. All right,
Yeah,
so you're a full-time teacher. Your husband, is he working full-time still too, or is he doing this full-time?
this is what he's doing full time. Yeah.
Full-time. So what made you decide to to do preservation? Like what was the prompt for that?
Well, I found you out through what's her name?
Whitney.
Mom tried to shoot
Tried and true
mom
mom.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw her post with you, and I asked my husband, I was like, have you ever heard of preservation? And he was just like, no, but what is it? Because we've heard about it, we've heard it all. Like we've
Yeah.
tried to, do wholesaling with real estate, and I tried to dabble in commercial investing before. So we've known about real estate for a long time, but we've never known about preservation.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when I first saw that video, I was just hooked. I was like, we gotta find out what this is all about, like what it is. I was watching the webinar, and then I went and like did my own little research, and we got into like getting on YouTube and seeing like what's out there and everything. But my husband has done construction for the last like 20 years. So he's always been in the industry, and he's always wanted to be able to do his own thing. We just never knew the route in.
Yeah.
So once I showed it to him, he was just like, yeah, go for it. Like, get it fired up, get it going. Like, yeah, get it started.
Right.
Like,
get it started, then let me know when it's done. That sounds
right,
about right.
Exactly. So you had your little special going on, and I wasn't ready to like go full in. So I think I did the partial one. Yeah, I did that. And so after I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, she legit. Like, let's go. So, I invested into the full program. I was like, dang, I wish I would have just invested into it first, so I wouldn't have to pay the extra. But anyways, after we did the live summit, I was like, all right, cool. So after I just got into it, like just, full on, and he's just like, get it started. Like he was behind me, like, get it going. And like for me, like this was not my area of expertise. So the whole time I'm going through it, like I'm nervous. I'm like, anxious, like, well, how is this going to work out? And how is that going to work out? And well, how is this going to work? He's just like, listen, I know what I'm doing. Just get it going, get it going. Like, he just kept
Yeah, I think you had a lot of what if scenarios. Like, well, what about this? And what about
yes, like my mind is, I have to be able to put two together, one to one together. Like, it has to make sense for me like that. But for him, it was just like, just get it going. I know what I'm doing. Just get it going. So, yeah, having him behind me was like, pushing me forward so I could just get it going.
Oh, that's so good though. That's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So aside from your husband, are you working with anybody else, like family and friend wise?
Nope, it's just us. It's
Okay.
basically like a family business right now because the teams, they go out there with them, and I've been out there too. Okay, I've been out there doing the trash outs. Okay.
I hate it. I can listen. I cannot stand it. I don't like being dirty. I don't like bugs. I don't like hoarders. And you see some atrocious things in these properties. You like, people live here? Like,
People live like that. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, how did this property get like this? Like, what happened?
the ones with 50 dogs and it's just dog feces. It's just disgusting.
Yes, rats and everything. Yeah, mold and just all types of stuff. So, yeah, I've been out there a few times. I don't go out there often, now that I got my baby, but I've been out there.
Go out there into the wilderness.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like a family business right now. Yeah.
That's so cool. So you guys just crossed, I think your post in the alumni group was it 6,500?
6,600. Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's again really fast, right? Because you're still basically not even within the first 6 months, right? What's your end goal? Because I think you said the next goal is 10K.
Yes.
Okay.
Honey, we're trying to get to about what you said, 12 to 18 months.
Yep.
6 figures.
Okay. I mean, you're on the way, right? 6,600 is 75,000, we'll say, per year, and that's better than 85% of most Americans. I think it's.
Yeah, and the thing that I can see now is that because when we hopped into it, we were like right in the middle of the moratorium, so it really wasn't a whole lot going on, and it's still not a whole lot going on because a lot of the companies that we're on board with, I follow up with them and they let us know, like, because of the moratorium, we still don't have nothing going, and Houston is one of our biggest areas, and so like it was just how slow it went. It was just like in the beginning, it was like frustrating, but now that things are moving and now that we realize it's because of the moratorium, it's because of the pandemic, it's like, okay, we're in a great position. And when everything is going back up, we'll be ready to like, get to that 10. I'm like 20, 20K a month for sure. That's the goal for sure.
Yeah. Because the thing about it is, like, if you can make it through this and you have, right, the pandemic, then nothing else really is going to be a problem, right? Like, you already made it through like the hardest, strictest, like least amount of work available part in the so, yeah, you guys will be in fantastic shape. So I saw that, I was like, I knew it. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
What challenges have you had though? What's been a challenge for you?
I would say just that, being a brand new, when you first start a business, because when we first started, wasn't a whole lot going on. It was just inspections. Yeah. And so the inspections, like $10, they want $10, $15. Like, that was the most frustrating thing in learning, the client and what they want as far as the photos and stuff like that. And that just like learning how to read the photos and stuff and look at them and see what they're looking for. That's kind of been the most frustrating for me, because just like, oh, this is annoying. Like going through like 200, 300 photos, like it's tedious and it can be annoying. But really, I feel like that has been the most challenging. Then once we kind of was like, okay, if this is causing the stress, like what you said, like if it's causing you stress, if it's too much, if it's making you anxious or whatever, don't do it. So we finally was just like, look, if they're not gonna give us $25 for these inspections, we're not gonna do them. So we just started turning them down and declining them. And once we started turning them down and declining them, that's when we started to get like maintenance orders. And the maintenance orders is where like the money is at. So just saying taking this business and not looking at it as an employee, because you know when you're an employee, you feel that pressure like, well, if I don't do something, they might fire me. Something gonna happen. You know, once you get rid of that employee mindset and understand that this is a business, you're a business owner, you know, you're not working for them, you know, they're, you know,
You're
you are
partners.
right, exactly. So once you just get that right mentality and lose the anxiety and the worry and all that and the stress, just everything starts opening up. It just starts happening naturally. So
I think I remember saying a few times, like, you know, nothing's gonna happen if you say no, right? You know, they can't do nothing to you, right?
right.
Is this your first business or you guys' first business? What's your experience with that?
Well, for me, I kind of been like a serial entrepreneur. I've done like everything. I did 5 legs.
Me too. I made $500 and I was like, okay, I'm out.
Right, exactly. So I kind of did a little bit. I've always had that kind of entrepreneur spirit and just try to, you know, find different routes and see what sticks and what works and everything. So I've I think he's never really had like his own business, but he's had business ideas too. So we kind of have always been in the same mindset of like, let's start a business, let's start a business, let's start a business. But you know, not going for the $100 coupon type business, the multi-level marketing business that just want to suck your money and not, you know, give you nothing back. But this has been like the true most legit business that we've ever had.
That you started,
for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like once you get it, then you got it. So, and I don't know if you were able to watch the video I did in the alumni group a couple weeks ago, but I gave a lot of companies to partner with. And since your husband has that construction background, I think you guys will do really well with some of those options too, like the companies that own all the rental properties throughout the country.
Yeah, the American Homes for Rent. Yeah. We're actually renting from them right now. So
yeah, crazy, right? Like if you look at that. I mean, these companies are literally buying like 40,000 properties around the country. It is insane. And so there are some drawbacks to that too, right? Because they, you know, they don't have the best reputation sometimes and they raise the market values, right? Because they don't care about nickel and diamond for a house. They're like, whatever, we're gonna buy 10,000. So just tell us how much it costs and we'll pay it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of opportunity will be there because I don't think that market is going anywhere. I think that's kind of the future.
Yeah, we're looking into that one. And then we Resi Pro, I think that was one that you had put in the course.
A while back. Yeah, Resi Pro.
Yeah, a while back. So we're on board with them too. They're just kind of like just now getting properties in Houston. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on board with quite a few. We're on board with MSI, Brookstone, First Allegiance, Resi Pro. Yeah, so it's just, but we've only been working with one company that's been giving us work to do, which is Guardian. So
but that's all you need though, is really one or two good companies, because they do all have, I mean, the requirements are pretty similar, but some companies are, as you know, a lot more pickier than others. And some I think are a lot easier to work with than others too, though. So that's something to keep in mind. What's your plan? Like, do you plan to expand outside of Houston? What do you plan on doing, Elia?
Well, our plan right now is to stay in Houston, and we want to move into like remodeling. That's where he wants to take it long term. So we've hired a few subcontractors just for certain jobs, but we eventually want to start getting people on our team so we can just, you know, have them. So that's the next step really, is to get like maybe like 1 or 2 other people on our team. And Houston is pretty big because we do Harris County, we do Fort Bend, Brazoria County. So basically just tying down these counties around Harris County. And because Harris County is so huge, like it's kind of like you can be good just doing Harris County. So
I didn't know Houston was that big until I started getting work in Houston, and then I would call contractors and try to get them to do something. I'm like, oh, it's in Houston, like, so you should be good. He's like, oh, it's like an hour away. I'm like, what?
Right, exactly. Because we're south, so it's like if you're talking about going north, it's just like, oh, that's out of our area. Because north is like an hour away. So so we're focusing on Harris County, Fort Bend, Brazoria County, and we've gone so south as far as Bay City. We've done Bay City, which is Matagorda County, but basically just thriving here in the county that we are in, and then growing our team from this area. Yeah.
What is driving you, Elia? Like, what is your, because I see, if I'm not correct, mistaken, I should say, I see some affirmations and looks like some other stuff behind.
Oh
it.
yeah.
What's driving you? What's pushing you?
What's driving me is the dream, financial freedom. I got some student loan debts from my master's, so I want to get that paid off. Okay. Working on becoming a homeowner. I have 2 small children that, I just want to be an example to them that, hey, you can do it. You can be your own business owner. If you want to go to college, you can. Like, I was privileged to get a scholarship to college. I played basketball in college.
Oh, what position did you play?
I played forward in power center.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how tall are you?
Oh God, I'm 6'1".
You're 6'1"? Oh.
I'm 6'1". Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
I played at the University of Kentucky, so go Wildcats. Yeah.
When the last time you played basketball?
Maybe like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I don't really get out there and play basketball like that no more. I do exercise though. I exercise. That's my thing. But I don't really get out there and play basketball too much.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I was just curious. So sorry to interrupt. I play basketball too. I played forward as well.
And you did? What? Oh my God.
Yeah. I play with my son and beat him every night. He only 9 though, so.
Oh, you talking about that? I thought you was talking about like some real pickup games, like
Oh yeah. No, I ain't played no pickup game, child, in years.
Okay, yeah, like that, like shooting around in probably like a month ago. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, but like pickup games, running up and down the court. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'll be woe out playing out there.
I'm telling you,
a full body workout.
I know it is. It is. That's all you need. Get up and down that court, you'll be good.
Okay. So what's driving you? We were talking about that.
Yeah. So, that financial freedom where I don't have to work a job, and I can travel. And my family is in Ohio. Most of my family's in Ohio. We're like really the only ones here in Texas. So, being able to go visit my family more often and during holidays if I want to, or, just having that financial freedom where I never have to work a job and I can still be good and work towards passive income and things like that. So that's the goal for sure. Okay. Yeah.
So your job, what you said you're a teacher. Is it stressful? Is it have you been doing it a long time?
No, teaching is not stressful. I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching. I work with high schoolers, sophomores. But I don't really see myself as like a 30-year retiring from teaching type. That's really not me. Like my dreams, my goals are a little bit bigger. And so it's great that I'm a teacher. I'm thankful for it. Yeah. It's not really that I hate teaching or nothing like that. It's just that, I'm ready to move on and do other things and have a little bit more freedom,
Where would you be if you if money wasn't an issue, time, like if there were no constraints or issues, like where in the world would you be and what would you even be doing?
Oh my God. I don't know. I think maybe I would maybe do like maybe motivation or inspiration. Maybe get my little YouTube channel fired up and stuff like that. And I'll be maybe travel with my mom and help her out a little bit because she's had to work a lot, and maybe be able to give her a little bit more freedom with her time and give her a little bit more time away from the stress of just working and things like that. So I don't know, probably traveling, yeah, for sure. Traveling.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 34.
34, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And your mom's still working?
Yeah, she's still working. She's nowhere near retirement, but she's doing what she feels she's called to do. She's working in the substance abuse for career field where she counsels and she does counseling with she does one-on-one counseling, marriage and family therapy and stuff like that. So
that's a hard field.
Yeah, it is. It's so she loves it. She feels like it's her calling, but it's very stressful too. It's very time consuming because she has to take notes and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard. And you battle, I mean, everybody's battling demons, but I think when substance abuse is involved, you just never know what you're dealing with. My brother had a long time drug problem since like
Yeah.
high school, if I had to pinpoint it, high school. And he
Yeah.
recently passed away. We found out like in November. So like maybe 6, 7 months
Hmm.
ago.
I'm
And
sorry to hear that.
yeah, and he had just gotten out of jail again, and had been out of jail 2 weeks, and he had been in there 6 years. So two
Hmm.
weeks after he got out, he overdosed on something.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Long
actually has
time.
me and my brother actually have know two people that we grew up with who had an overdose and died. So it's a huge thing that's really affecting our community for sure. And my husband has some family members that struggle with it, and
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you
So
deal with it though? Like for you, and especially since your mom has training in it, like because you know a lot of the average black family be like, oh, they can't come here, leave them alone. When they need help, they'll get. You know what I mean? Like, what do y'all do?
well, I know, just some of the things that from what my mom has told me, like uh just encouraging them to get the help that they need, and I don't know. I mean, just get the help and don't isolate yourself because I feel like that's the thing that leads to people overdosing and things like that. It's just isolating themselves, not feeling like they have anybody there for them that cares for them that they can talk to. So I would just say, having somebody that you can talk to, maybe somebody that can hold you accountable, um, basically somebody that you don't want to be around enablers, people who are going to enable you to just keep on, doing that habit and supporting you in that habit. You need people who are going to be tough love, like, let's go get you some help. You're going to stay in rehab, you're not going to go out of rehab or, whatever. So, yeah, I feel like people who can hold you accountable and people who can support you and help you through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give for anybody considering preservation? What would you tell them to do in terms of like pros, cons, what to look out for, what you've learned since January? What would you say?
Well, I would tell them, if it's going slow in the beginning, don't be discouraged because it's just, the season and the time that you're going through. Um, I would say, hmm, yeah, that's the main thing. Like, don't get frustrated. Just be patient because I know a lot of times, like when you starting something new, you just wanted to like jump off right real quick. Like, come on, where's the money at? But you have to be patient. You have to know that if you stick with it, it's coming. And also, I would say, um, whatever clients that you're working with, definitely ask for the business. Like, ask them if they have anything that you can do. If they have any work orders that you can help them with. Because I feel like that is what helped us. Because we worked with so many different people with Guardian. Like we've talked to so many different people, and that was the frustrating thing for me because it was just like, well, who am I supposed to be working with? Like it was just so many different people.
Yeah.
Then when finally we got to working with one person and start to build a relationship with that one person, that's when everything started to come and everything started to open up. So I would definitely say try to build that relationship with one person. If they do have you talking to multiple people, and definitely ask for the business.
Yeah.
So, to ask them if they have anything, and tell them what you can do and stuff like that. So, yeah,
So I hear consistency and building a relationship and
yeah,
opening your mouth and asking for the business instead of just waiting for them to choose you out of the 700 companies that they have at their
exactly.
disposal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. And then, like, definitely show them that you can provide value to them,
yeah,
and that you want to be the go-to people that they should be working with, for sure.
yep,
Hmm.
that's it. And funny enough, it also applies to every other industry too. People always
Yeah.
like, I just started, nothing's happening. I was like, well, you've been, you know, you got to give it more than 90 days or
Right.
even 6 months, right? But I mean, I know that because, you know, I kind of struggle with that still sometimes too. But then it's like, well, wait a minute, like you're like brand new into this thing. Like
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
yourself some grace and some patience because most of us, you know, we have jobs and we've been working
Yep.
for years, you know,
Yeah.
dealing with the same thing with
Yeah.
no real changes. So, but I get it though, especially for a program that you spent money on. You're like, man, I need to get my money back.
I need my money back. Yeah, for sure. And you don't want to just be one of those things that you invested in and saw no return.
Yeah,
So you just got to give it time. You got to give it
yeah.
a little bit more time. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So at home, a 4-month-old, a 2-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 14-year-old?
14, a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old.
14
Mm-hmm.
and 15-year-old. So do
Mm-hmm.
you anticipate the older ones getting into the business at all as far as helping out with like, because they could do grass cuts and maid services and stuff.
Oh, they've already been out there. They've done it all. They've helped out with debris removals, lawn. Yeah, they're out there. So they're doing it all.
I
Yeah.
love it. Do they complain or are they happy?
Because we just gave them some money,
Yeah.
so they ain't complaining.
See?
They're like, oh, that's what this bringing in is giving us some money. Okay, we'll do it.
And I bet they move a lot faster too. And I know when I have little kids work for me, I'd be like, yeah, y'all go ahead, do you?
They move faster, yep, and they can go longer,
You
and
got to pay them as much money.
you ain't got to pay them as much. Nope, you give them a few hundred, and they good, they happy.
Oh my goodness, that is so great. Let me see if I have any
Yep.
more questions for you. Because so many people have asked me, like, well, what is she doing? How did they? I'm just like,
Oh, I definitely wanted to say that this has been a bootstrap. Like we've been bootstrapping this business, okay? Like that's one of the things that I was wanting to say is that when you're first getting started, you're trying to figure out how it's all going to work out, like, and it's not going to be like a perfect situation. Like when your job, that you're going to be at work from like 8 to 2 or 8 to 3. With this, it's like it could be all hours, not the whole day, 24 hours, but I'm just saying like maybe one day I might be working on it an hour, and another day I might be working on it 2 hours, but that 2 hours might have been at like 6 o'clock at night when I was free, or so it's like you just have to be flexible. You have to really have a lot of flexibility, and then it's basically the good thing about it is work around your schedule.
yeah.
So it's not like nothing is like super emergent, like has to be done exactly right now. So it's just like, well, if I got something going on, like I'm at work or I got to take my kids to the doctors, that can wait, I'll get to it. So,
Yeah, I
and
see that
then
with
like,
people a lot. People are like, well, I can't do it by the deadline. What should I do? Did you try asking for an extension?
exactly, oh, ask for an extension. And we definitely have gotten extensions,
Yep.
So, it's okay. So that's one thing that I would say too, because when you're just getting started, you're trying to figure out how it's going to work into whatever you got going on. And you just have to know that you'll fit it into your schedule based upon whatever you got going on. So that's the beauty of it. Because when I went back to work after I was on maternity leave, I was going to work and my husband was staying here with the kids and babysitting the kids. And then he would go out after I got back and maybe do like 3 or 4 hours of work. And we got the work done. So like 4 hours of work, you're not working a full
Yeah.
8-hour day, but you're getting it done in that time frame. So I would definitely say, yeah, just know that it works around your schedule.
So that
Sure.
was an adjustment for you, it sounds like, because before, it sounds like you're used to like a structure and you're like, okay, 8 to 2, this is when I work. But then it sounds like you adjusted to it and you realize it was a blessing too. For me, like that's the only way I want to do anything. Give me a
Exactly.
deadline, let me figure it out. I don't need nothing else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. And when I say like bootstrapping, like for sure, like we just are working with the resources that we have and making it work, And so I know when people are coming from that employee background and that employee mindset, you like, I gotta have my printer, I gotta have my this, I gotta have my that.
I gotta
Like,
go buy a pickup truck. I'll be like, no, please don't buy any of that stuff.
exactly. No, like no, you're not going to have every single thing before you get started. You know, you just got to get started, and then the things that you need, you'll get them as you go. You know, you don't want to just try to buy every single thing up front, and then you'll be like, well, I didn't need this, or I spent all this money in this, and now I don't have money for this. So,
You
yeah.
know what it reminds me of? It's like when you have your first baby. I know for me, child, I bought the most useless things known to man. I was like, oh, I need this. Oh, I gotta have this. And then the baby grows so fast, and you
So
literally
fast.
use none of it. It was
Nothing.
like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like that. Yeah. And that's funny because my second baby, I didn't even bother buying half.
Second baby don't get nothing.
Yeah. Less clutter, like everything. Less contraptions sitting on the floor, like
Yeah,
everything.
taking up space because I hate clutter too. That's another one of my
Right.
things. So yeah, I stopped all of that. I didn't even potty train. Not after the first, I don't even recall potty training the other two. I was just like, they just figured it out. Like I'm not.
Yep. Yep. It's like
Oh
that.
my goodness. All right, Elia, thanks so much for agreeing to do this video. I know that you had to get your hair together and you said you're going to post it on your YouTube channel. So that's going to be great. I'll send you
Yeah.
a link for that. And then any last words that you want people to know either about you, the business, your company, life in general? What advice would you, or what would you want to say?
Oh yeah, like in my post where I said we are tithers. So, you know, just one thing that because I have a friend, her husband do business, and she always tells me that they've always had increase in their business because they tithe. So I would say that um, that is where a lot of I feel like any success I have in anything, I always attribute it to God, and I would say tithing is very important. So yeah, just being a tither and expecting that increase, and it happens. So we're gonna keep on tithing, and I would encourage people, you know, tithe. If you're not a tither, start tithing.
I love that. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much for agreeing to talk to me. I appreciate your time. I'm so happy to see all this, the progress and things you've been doing, and keep motivating and encouraging. Because the thing that I've noticed about any of the Facebook groups is that people may not comment, but they're always
Mhm.
watching. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Mhm.
thank you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for interviewing me. And thank you for you putting your course together. Because,
Thank
I
you.
mean, we would have never found preservation if it wasn't for you. So
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it. All
Thank
right.
you
Well,
for
enjoy the
you.
rest of your day. I'll
You
talk to you
too.
soon. All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.